So we will start while I go and grab the next microphone with please introducing yourself one by one.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Luke, and I'm having a huge pleasure of being a part of an adventure which is called Growbots. I'm the founder. We are basically outbound sales automation platform, growing in the less than 3 years up to almost 90 people already. And I'm happy to show all of the experience that we got over the time.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Michał Skurowski with...
Ignore the P, it's been a long day.
Yeah, I'm the co-founder of Livespace. It's a tool, it's a sales CRM. So we help sales teams to get better results, increase their productivity. And I'm also here to share my knowledge and experience with you. So.
Mick, thank you for the invitation. I'm Andrzej from SMSAPI, and I'm sending SMSs. If anyone wants to receive an SMS from Mick, but with Pipeline Summit, that's us.
Yes, that's not a problem. I'll take my affiliate commission. That's fine.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, guys, and I appreciate your time. I think that everyone's really busy. Like I said, we're going to double down now on really getting the nitty-gritty facts from these guys that are, taking their businesses international. And I've done a lot of research, or I've been asking a lot of questions lately, which is, how do you make your first 10 sales? Okay, a lot of responses are friends, networks, and so on. What I'm going to ask you guys is, what if you don't have that original network, or you're expanding to an area where you don't have a network? So you're going into the US, you don't have any connections. What are your recommendations for kind of getting started in a new environment? And we can start from that side.
Oh yeah, for me it's always old school, as SMSs are,
sure.
yeah. But still, just an old school research. I will. But the truth story is that our first clients, not with SMSAPI, but the previous company was. We received our clients through old school research via internet and phones and emails, because we were selling e-commerce software, and so we are searching for e-shops that we knew that they look not so good, and the software is old and so on. So we called them or mailed them and just asked them if they want to meet us or talk with us. And so simple old school research.
Sure, makes sense.
With me, actually, I didn't have any network, so that's a good question for me.
Sure.
Yeah. So we took one area of our interests, which is managing the sales process. I don't want to talk about the product, so there's just one thing that we're doing kind of differently than others,
sure.
And that's the one thing that we've focused on and did some content marketing.
Okay.
And we addressed, we found out who our early adopters are, which were like sales trainers.
Okay,
right?
yeah,
people with a lot of experience, and for them this topic which was very narrow was actually worth talking about. So actually they reached to us because of the content marketing, and some of them were our first clients, and then we actually started by partnering with them. So we got like partners out of our early adopters, which then
became more clients. More. So a bit more of a long game where Andrzej and the guys went straight into the pitching section where you thought we'll get like a honeypot and draw them to us.
Yeah, but it didn't take that long actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Luke.
Yes, so with Growbots, I can share the story of our first clients. So we started actually as a lead generation agency. So we were having, like me and Greg, we just read a few books and we thought that we are sales experts. So we believed that we can create an agency. And we saw that there is a huge opportunity on US market. That was a problem because no one knew us. We were just no ones from Poland.
Sure.
So we created some content on our blog, and that was actually the blog that no one get into the blog. So we just created some content to share our thoughts about cold mailing and so on. And we started actually looking for influencers that can share our content. And one of those influencers was Lincoln Murphy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the guy. He's running 16ventures.com, really good blog. We love the content that he was creating. And what we saw was that on Twitter, he has like a lot of followers, but he's following just 25 people or something like that. So we basically got to those people and make them share our content on Twitter. And like one of the posts was read by Lincoln Murphy. He read it, he commented. We basically sent a cold email to him. Later on, it wasn't that cold anymore. And basically that's how we got featured on 16ventures, and after that we got our first clients.
Perfect. So the content worked, but you weren't going with the content directly to the client. You used the influencer to amplify it. Massive. Great. I think it's a great idea. Okay, so a really good mixture there that I think most companies can go away and kind of replicate, depending which one you think is best for you. The next part of this question is as we said, where are your next 10 coming from? You guys have all developed companies now. You've all got more, you've built trust in certain marketplaces, so therefore your approach can adapt, right? Are you doing the same things, or is there maybe more paid leads, advertising, and so on? How do you guys get sales today?
Yes, so we are outbound sales automation platform. We use our own tools, so 80% of our leads are actually coming from outbound. And you probably met some of the guys. We have 12 SDRs here, probably the best SDRs in the world. And they are generating 400 opportunities every single month for our sales team. And probably that's how we are going to get the next 10 sales.
Makes sense.
We're still sticking to content. Because the important part in the very crowded CRM space is stick to the right context, right? So we just want to talk about the problems that salespeople have. So we started organizing online events, and this is something that worked for us because it gives us some scale. And we've learned to convert it to trials and then to customers. So
sure.
Yeah, and I think it works better than AdWords, which are pretty expensive for us. And yeah.
But just to confirm, I think because you guys are the same, the lead gen is there, but you're still passing it through your teams and it's being humanly closed, or you're looking for those that content to complete the whole cycle? Or do leads then get taken by your team, they sell them, they put them through the funnel and so on?
Actually, we're doing some experimenting with marketing automation, so we're putting pretty much effort into nurturing the leads, and now we're working on a process where our salespeople get alerts when they should contact a lead. So
okay,
yeah, we start from the very beginning of the funnel and then use some automation.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Andrzej?
With us, it's like the company's service has 10 years, and through these 10 years, we learn a lot. We've grown organically, and then we've learned. So basically, there is no one answer for your question, because there is no one tool that we receive leads from and we sell. As it was mentioned, not even once here. Sorry, it was mentioned a lot of time here. Yes, today. It's all about the team, all about the different tools. It all depends, because we are visiting a lot of conferences, we are having a lot of inbound, we are selling outbound, and so we are using intercom and so on and so on. Just like an hour ago, I received a message via Messenger from my friend. By the way, he's from Gdańsk, and he gave me a lead. So he's a friend from the industry. So
sure. Every
tool is working. To be honest, there is no one answer for that question.
Okay, that's okay. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of new business and kind of going into things, so one of the age-old things I find, especially here in Poland, is selling your product locally versus selling your product globally. Okay, so and I find that there are companies that are both ends of the spectrum. So there are companies that were only Polish, then they move out and expand country by country. There are other companies that go straight to the US market. That's where they know the real need is, and so on. Even to the extent that they don't focus at all on their local market. It's a very controversial subject. There's no wrong answer. One thing is, how do you guys do it now? And if you started a new company, how would you do it if you did it again? So, what's your focus right now in terms of Poland versus outside Poland, and what do you think is the best approach for a new business?
Well, the approach depends on the product. For us, it's short message system. So we started in Poland, and now we are moving outside Poland to Europe because the SMS market is not so good not so easy in US. So we do not force to go outside there. But yes, we are starting to move outside. We are doing SEO and SEM activities outside to the whole Europe, whole world. And country by country, we are getting to know the country, getting to know the people, and hiring salespeople from, to be honest, the natives are the best guys for each country. But we do not do like few countries at once. So we are trying the east side, then now Germany, I believe, and then France, and so on and so on and so on.
So localized, market by one market, make sure that it works. Yeah. Move on to the next one. Okay.
It depends because our product needs to be like that.
Makes sense.
We have to do this because if we want to give our customers the best product, we have to do it locally. And and again, now if I will start a new company, how would I work? I don't know. Depends on the product. Probably worldwide it will be the best because the market is much bigger. But it depends on the product.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah, but you have to think about what are the needs of your customer. Not what do you think is the best for them, but what do they need.
Yeah, I mean, just because a product can be global doesn't mean that's what you should do, right? I mean,
exactly.
Certain markets want to feel appreciated and localized, but again, it comes with its challenges of then having to, your team can only focus on one aspect. So it's very pro and con, and it's good to see that different businesses can approach it in different ways. What about you guys at Livespace?
So if you would start again, I mean, from the beginning, I guess we would definitely look for a niche, right? So the niche could be like, I mean, Poland is also some niche.
Yeah, sure, geographically niche. Yeah.
So that's how we started. But then again, we could look for some other vertical. I mean, right now we're focusing more on automotive industry, and now as I see, it's easier to get customers outside of Poland because you try to specialize. So I would definitely narrow down as much as possible. Right?
Yeah, I mean, Sujan touched on it before. This Me 50, it being number one in Poland or being number one in the automotive can make you an extremely successful company if the niche has got enough potential. So narrowing down, I think, can make a lot of sense. Perfect.
Yeah, so again, it depends on your product. You should go where your market is. So for us, the market that was actually the easiest was Silicon Valley. Because of the adoption of the product, of new technologies. When we were starting, sales development was kind of hot already in Silicon Valley, but in Europe no one knows who a sales development representative is, so it was much easier to start there. Right now, again, it depends on the product, but probably I will start globally because it's much easier and you can validate your hypothesis easier and faster.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think, and again, I think that you would agree that going to Silicon Valley is a great thing to say, but it's probably super difficult, right? It took you guys a lot of time. My next kind of question would be to you, not only sales, but company general, is, we have certain companies, especially in Poland, so something like a live chat, they've managed to expand internationally, staying in Wrocław, every team member being in Wrocław, where you guys have very successfully expanded the team and hired abroad, and you have white remote. How challenging was that? for you guys to hire abroad, move abroad, to Silicon Valley, and not just financially, but how did you manage that process?
Yeah, for us it was maybe easier because we got accepted to 500 startups, so that was kind of the kick for us. So we could move there for 4 months, and we could basically get all of this knowledge from mentors, from people around. Like, great if you're having a chance, go and find some good acceleration program for you, because it's a great point in the history of our company, at least, that we could actually start thinking globally at that point. But after 500, we had the failure of building entire team in Poland. We started the sales team in Poland, and it was complete disaster. People with experience in selling SaaS products globally, they were not able to sell our product, and we changed it after 6 months or so.
Sure.
And then we hired a great head of sales right now, Chad, who basically runs the team right now. But that was completely different. Someone that is understanding the Silicon Valley and understanding the US people, being a local. That's very important. What you said, being a local, being like, is able to have this small talk, this conversation. Sure. It's absolutely crucial, I say. But yeah,
I mean, a lot of the events, like in Silicon Valley, I found they were like evenings, like 6 till 9 meetups, and you can't fly to Silicon Valley for a 3-hour meetup. It just doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of logistical benefits, right, as well.
Yeah, but it does make sense to even be in Poland and like buy a ticket to San Francisco, just have 2 weeks full of meetings. People are so willing to help there that they are really like booking a meeting with you, and they want to meet, they want to share their knowledge, they want to share advice, and they want to get advice from you as well.
So, how are you doing it right now? Are your team local? How is that expansion, and where do you run it from right now?
Yeah, so we had a couple of ideas how to do it. We wanted to approach London-based companies in the beginning. We thought it was, it's closer than Silicon Valley, so we thought, okay, maybe that's that's a thing. But then we learned that the UK market is pretty difficult for us, because
English people suck.
No, I mean, they really want to meet in person. Yeah, and we just. I mean, the effort put into that was so much higher than just getting customers here, so we stopped. Then we thought, all right, maybe let's try other countries. So we're doing like outbound campaigns, some of them also using Growbots, and we're just testing. So we have it's not a sales process; it's an educational process.
Okay.
Right? So we don't sell in the beginning. We try to get feedback, and this is the one thing that we're focusing on, and that's how we choose our markets. So
okay, makes sense.
So actually, the biggest foreign customer is not as we expected in the UK. It's in Belarus, right? So, and it's like really, really big. So
okay, perfect.
We wouldn't expect.
I mean, I know a very successful outsourcing company here for IT, and because a lot of that was face-to-face closing, they literally expanded their markets each time Ryanair created a new route from Gdynia to wherever. And they were like, okay, now we can go there because we can do it cost effectively. So, and it made sense for them. Andrzej, what about you? I know you said you're doing local. Is it difficult, to hire, and are they isolated? Are they individual people? How does it work?
Well, to be honest, it's really hard with SMS. It's really hard to gather all other markets like in the Europe, for example, and that's why we hired some the girl from Belarus, and she was really nice, and we learned that the east side is not so easy to sell. So okay, so that's info for you, but. We figure out that it will be because the SMSs are like the best. We can give you the best product when we have local GSM operators connected directly to our system, and so this is really hard to have an agreement with each operator in each country. So that's why we figure out that we will have some partnerships with other companies from other countries, and so they are sending like messages to Poland via SMS API, and we are sending SMS to Croatia via other companies, to Deutschland, to Germany via other companies.
Deutschland is okay.
And so on, yeah, genau. Genau. And so on and so on. So one thing is to have your own people, and second thing is partnerships with other companies.
Perfect, makes sense. We'll open it up for a couple of questions as well. If anyone does please just raise your hand and we'll pause for you guys. But if from my side, I've got just kind of one final question, which is, can you guys just talk a little bit about your sales decks? What tools do you use? Like, I know that everybody has very unique usages of them, but what would you kind of say, this is the tool that we love? Like so for Brand24, we use Intercom, we live in Intercom. We started to use Woodpecker, which we love now, and that's helping our sales guys. We currently use Pipedrive. What do you guys use, and just any reasons why you use them and so on?
Intercom also. We use Intercom, but it's from, of course, the inbound sales. But for outbound sales, it depends on the industry, because one guy is selling SMSs to companies like clothes companies and so on. So he's gathering information about workers in these companies via LinkedIn. Simple as that. And the other guy is selling mainly to cities and any other things that you have to go. Yep. And literally old school with flowers and chocolates and to meet with the guys. So Polish kiełbasa, exactly. It all depends on the industry, but to be honest, I think we use like Intercom, our own internal homemade CRM, and emails, phones, LinkedIn, and everything we can. Facebook, even. To be honest, every channel you can contact with your guy you want to contact with, we are using it.
Perfect, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've tried quite a lot of tools. Of course, as the center of the information, we're using our CRM, but for outbound, we've been using Growbots. We are also using Hunter IO. Okay. Woodpecker. Mm-hmm. Actually, there's no one tool that does it all, so I think it's really good to experiment.
And you don't always need tools, right? I mean, I'm not saying this as if go away and sign up for 10 tools tomorrow or you'll double your conversion. It's just a case of which ones help you guys, which ones maybe help with automation, but it's not required, right? You can go old school just as much as well.
Yeah, of course, also Intercom, we're using Help Scout. Sometimes we're even using like the typical marketing tools, but also for sales, for example, Yandex Metrica, where we can track, who actually activated the trial version, and then we can track down, what was he reading.
It's like a Hotjar competitor kind of thing. We use it from time to time.
So different. We use Appointly, that I guess is here somewhere. So it's for like scheduling. Yeah. Cool.
We are using Brand24 also.
Oh, thank you.
And I would have forgotten. I would have forgotten.
Pure peer pressure.
No,
though.
actually, we're using Brand24 for quite a long time. But what was kind of new for us is that how well it does its job for especially English language markets. And actually, this is one of the biggest drivers right now.
I promise I didn't ask them to do that. That's really nice of them, but that's cool. Okay, really. Makes sense. Luke?
I would say that we are using too many different tools.
Sure.
So let's start with those that I don't like. So we use Salesforce. And actually, like the size of the sales organization was big enough to start using Salesforce for reporting, forecasting, and so on. So that was quite useful, but it's still painful. So on the top of that, we need to have, Serious Insight or Mixmax that is helping with appending data to Salesforce from email. And we use Zoom for video conferencing. A lot of people mentioned Zoom. And the cool tool that we are using also for conferencing, but actually for sales training, is Gong. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It's a tool that is basically doing sales calls transcriptions.
Wow, okay.
And is helping to find the moment that there was, for example, discussion about pricing, discussion about some particular features, and so on and so forth. So it's very useful later on when you are training new people, just to show very, very useful fragments of a demo.
Perfect. No, that's a great, like a little nugget to take away. That's great. Okay, we will open up. Is anyone got any questions? Sir, you might.
Gong, like boom.
G-O-N-G?
It's working in English only currently, but we are quite satisfied. I cannot say like how accurate it is, but they are really good. Like they are quite fancy companies. So like right now, they are like having a hyper growth.
Okay, perfect. Anyone else? Any other questions? I know you're all eager to spend your pipeline dollars on your beer. So let me take this opportunity to say thank you to our panelists once again, and thank you to all our speakers. I really appreciate it.